Okay. The next guy, Zaid. Always nice to talk about Tabligh. Always nice to know what's going on with Tabligh. Last week, alhamdulillah, we had a groundbreaking, I think, show with Ahmed Saab coming on and telling us about his life and persecution and how he knows Jamaat. And we should highlight that bit as well about how he spoke about Dr. Abdul Salam. I think that was a really incredible point that he made about how he came and he represented the culture of Pakistan with his Achkin and his Jinnah cap and everything. So Zaid Saab, your department is probably more important than anything, especially at this time, especially talking about black rights and all these kind of things. There's a few programs that are going to happen as well in the next coming weeks. Next Friday, we have a talk about human rights held by Pan African Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, the Palmer. I think we should all try to join that as well. And the week after that, there's another program held by West Midlands on the same kind of topic. I think I'm going to be giving a talk on that as well. So inshallah, we should try to connect those programs as well, because it's going to happen around the same time as Khuddam night. So let's working around that and taking part in both. So Zaid Saab, sorry, just a small introduction before you start.
So, sorry guys.
Thanks.
So most of you would know, myself, but the ones who are unsure of who I am, my name is Zaid Janjua. I'm regional Nazim for Tabligh on our region, West Midlands. So today, I'm just going to basically share a slideshow and just going to go through some of the things which we are basically covering at the moment with Tabligh, and just kind of a catch up as well. So where we are, how we doing, and what we should be kind of be doing as well in regards to Tabligh and also in other things as well. So just gonna share the screen. Yeah, so today the points that we will be covering in Tabligh, just wanted to introduce everyone to Tabligh Help Desk, which is available on Telegram. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through the Tabligh trainings. And also, just as I said, I wanted to kind of make everyone aware that, where we are with regards to our region, what kind of our targets are as well, because I think it's important for everyone, not just myself, not just the Nazimeen who are in Tabligh as well. Every person in our region, they should know what is expected from our region. So it's very important to know what our expectations are, and if we are actually doing them, and how we can do them as well. So just going to touch on that as well, and how we can get involved in Tabligh as well. And some might think Tabligh might just be simply just preaching, but Tabligh is in many forms. It's not just one form that you can do Tabligh in. So inshallah, I'll try to cover these points, and inshallah, you'll be able to catch some points different. So first one is Telegram. Yeah, so this is our Tabligh help desk, which Majlis Khuddam Al Ahmadiyya has created from the Tabligh department. And the reason for this is, I'm just going to quickly read this out. So it says there, so a group for regional and local Nazimeen to share about Tabligh activities in their area, so in our region. So you can also use this group to ask Tabligh related questions. In order to do this, you must type the following query, region, and then type your question. So it's a very good, this group is very good, and I wanted to recommend this to everyone. I'm recommending it to all my Nazimeen as well in the region. And it's not just restricted to to the Qaideen or to the Nazimeen and so on as well. It's also you guys are also, anyone in the group here, you're also welcome to join this group as well. The link is right above as well. I'll try to share it in a minute. And with this, the good thing is with this is that if you have any inquiry, any burning questions that you might have, something that you're not aware about relation to the Tabligh or anything like that, anything, I'm not sure, anything that you might have, any questions, you can simply ask down here rather than, I don't know, like, just kind of forget about that question and it doesn't come up to your mind. So if you have any questions, you remember it, simply just kind of type it on your phone and query it on this help desk. So this is made for all the khudams, to kind of get involved. And this is, again, another platform for us to benefit from. The next one, I'm going to be going through the Tabligh training. This week, we've had two trainings we had trainings from the National Department, which was the Tabligh talk. And then we also had our regional Tabligh discussion as well. So the first one I wanted to kind of cover was Tabligh training, which just was the first part. This is the first part which happened last Sunday. And it's going to be a 10-part study where we're going to be covering how to kind of preach to non-Ahmadis, Christians, I think it is, and atheism as well. So at the moment, the first program, Naseem Bajwa Saab, he kind of covered, where do we stand as in Tabligh, and what's the importance, and what we should be doing, in order to do Tabligh. And before we even do Tabligh, what we should kind of consider. So as I said last week as well, I was sure that he was going to mention about the Tabligh guide, which I'll try to point down here. So the Tabligh guide, this is accessible on Google as well. So you can literally go on Google and type in Tabligh guide, and this this book, which has been written by Naseem Bajwa Saab, it's very good. It's got great knowledge in there as well. And it's also one key thing that he mentioned from this book is 13 steps of successful preaching. So this is steps which I believe Naseem Bajwa Saab has, made, and kind of like things how to, when you are doing Tabligh, what to do, what to prepare yourself for, what to do, and like, for example, how to set up the stall, what to look out for, make sure you have refreshments, so on. If you're inviting someone, make sure you take care of them, make sure you pray before you even go out there. So these are all the things he mentioned during the program as well. I can't really obviously cover exactly every fine detail of what he covered, but the Tabligh discussion, this is available on YouTube for you to watch as well. And by you watching that, you can understand the points he's mentioned in clearly. Some of the points that I wanted to mention that he mentioned, which are very important, these are the 4 points. I've just put them down as number 1 to 4. So he went through these 4 points, which were, the first one was that, as he mentioned about the 6 articles of faith in Islam. So he covered that. He covered the 5 pillars of Islam, what we are as Muslims, what we should be doing, what actually what is our who we are, basically, and everything. So these are like literally the basics he kind of covered. And then he went on towards the 10 conditions of Bai'at, and also finally mentioned that about doing Bai'at in the hand of Khalifa as well, and why that is important. So these are very key, some basic points as well. Like, for example, the conditions of Bai'at. This is something that we all do regularly on Jalsa as well. So, we do the hand Jalsa, and Jalsa we get so lucky that we do the hand on Khalifatul Masih. So these are all the points that he mentioned there. And some of these points as well, like 5 pillars of Islam, these are literally the basics, you might think, but this is the foundation of our religion. So it's very point. He got literally to the basics and kind of refreshed our memories. Obviously, I'm sure we all know, but these are the points that we should always refer back to when we are, doing Tabligh. So it was a great show, alhamdulillah. It was a very good success as well. And I request, everyone who's involved in today's program as well, to try to spare some time to watch the video on YouTube, which is available as well. The next one is the Tabligh discussion. This is organized by our region and also by West Midlands. Midlands region, yeah, Midlands region. So at the moment, last week we covered on Holy Quran's response to science. So I remember a few weeks ago, some Khudam mentioned that to me, that, you know, that at the moment we have a lot of our friends, they don't really believe in religion. They kind of forget in religion. So it's important that we kind of remind, we Khudams know how to speak to those individuals, because a lot of, you know, our friends at the moment, they're not into religion. They're just like on the worldly things and getting on with the worldly stuff, and kind of relate to science more than to religion. They think religion is just the old thing, and science is, you know, is the answer, and it has a better answer to everything. That's what, you know, that's what is in their minds, obviously. But alhamdulillah, we are blessed as Ahmadi Muslims, that we know that, you know, the teachings of the Islam and the Holy Quran, which has been revealed to us, is correct. And, you know, even what's mentioned in the Holy Quran, you know, about the Big Bang. This is some points that we covered. The 4 points we covered in the main 4 points that we covered in this week's training were, you know, the mention of Big Bang in the Holy Quran 1400 years ago. And now scientists are, you know, are kind of getting to know about the Big Bang, and they still don't know what kind of happened and what did not happen. But it's actually says in the Quran, you know, we open the mass and, you know, we close it. So all of this is in the Holy Quran. But these scientists think that, you know, they know everything, but it's already been mentioned 1400 years ago. And who would think like this kind of, someone would have that kind of a brain at that time? So it's impossible. So when you are also, you know, preaching to your friends, when you're speaking to them, you know, do advise them that nothing is, you know, that crystal clear. You know, you have to have some sort of a faith. You definitely have to have some sort of a belief, because religion is more about faith and science is more just about facts. But you have to have a bit more faith inside of you to kind of get down to the ground. So yeah, so these were some of the topics that we covered. We also covered the chance of planned evolution, as I mentioned as well. Nothing can just happen itself. So also about human embryo, which is mentioned in the Holy Quran as well. And finally, the video for atheism, end of atheism. This is by Rational Religions. So this is definitely a good video for you to watch by Rational Religions. They've made a video of how you can kind of respond back to atheism, atheist people who have, you know, who obviously they don't believe in religion at all. So sometimes it's very challenging to answer to them. But by you watching, you know, this video and the points that they have mentioned in Rational Religions, you know, you'll get a good knowledge of, you know, yourself as well, who we are as Ahmadis, and what's mentioned in the Holy Quran as well, and how you can respond back to them. So that's the Tabligh training. Yeah, this one which I wanted to cover was our targets for our region. As I said earlier on, that I think it's very important that every single member, you know, we should know what is expected for our region. It's not just up to myself. You know, I can't obviously achieve everything which is listed in this box here. I have to kind of get the whole region involved in this, and by us all working together can we only achieve this, you know. So yeah, so some of our targets at the moment, which I wanted to kind of highlight it as well, it's the media outreach. There's, I mean, it says numbered expectation of views. This is 56,000 views, and you might think it's a lot of views, but when you actually think about the Twitter campaigns that we've had just in the last couple of weeks, we've had so many campaigns in during Ramadan as well. Every week in Ramadan, we pretty much had a campaign going on. So if you imagine all the Qudams just from our region who were involved in it, the amount of time they retweeted something and they forwarded something or they liked something, and all of these things that they were involved in, and someone just viewed it. So, you know, if you look at it from that point of view, I can't really obviously tell you where we are or how many people have physically saw every single view. That's hard for me to tell, but I'm sure, you know, we're doing a great job with that. A lot of Qudams as well, they're getting really involved with this. You know, it's very good. Obviously, one of our main targets, which is there, is the leaflet target. But unfortunately, due to the situation, we're not able to do leafletting. So, you know, the focus has changed a bit more towards, you know, media and how to do Tabligh in other ways. And alhamdulillah, we've had very great successful Tabligh, campaigns on Twitter, which have happened as well. And we've also covered a lot of Tabligh trainings as well, which is some of the targets down here as well. And we're getting a lot of participation, alhamdulillah, through these trainings as well, such as right now as well. Right now, there's got a few Khudams who are joined in this as well. This is a part of your training as well, I would say. So, this is some things that I wanted to cover. This is some of our targets. If anyone wants this graph, if they want to see this, if they're interested in what our targets are, what our expectations are from our region, please just let me know. I'll forward it to you straight away. So it's not just for me to view, it's for you guys to also know, what our expectation is from us. And and finally, I wanted to tell you that, how to get involved in Tabligh as well. So, there's a lot of ways that, you might think Tabligh might just be, I don't know, preaching to someone, that's it, full stop. But it's not that. Tabligh, we can do it in so many different ways. As the first one, there's allegation. I think, Rabbi Sir, we're doing allegations today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Allegations we're doing today as well. So, covering allegation, understanding the allegations which are posed to us as well. At the end of the day, when you tackle allegations, there's some knowledge you understand from the allegation which has been, raised, and then what is our defense against that? How do we argue against that? So this is again a great knowledge. This is again a great, Tabligh as well. Social media, Tabligh we can do to our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, and etc. Leaflet distribution and training as well. And also, I've got some pictures down here of the blood drive, which we are, I think the blood drive day, World Blood Day is 14 June. And we've also been instructed by Center as well to try to get as many as Khudams to at least register right now to donate blood. So if I request all the Khudams who are on this as well, please, just literally go on your phone when you can, obviously when you're free later on, go on your phone, go and give blood, and go on the website, register yourself, by today if you can, please, and get involved in this as well. And you might be thinking, why am I referring back to this as Tabligh? Because, when we are doing these khidmat activities, such as the one of this one here as well, when we went for a Royal Navy, I think it was, and when we supported them, when we do these kind of activities, these are physical kind of activities that we have been involved in, and someone can see the work we have done. Just if we're just simply just preaching to someone, and we're not literally acting, physically by it as well, it doesn't really, I don't know, for me, it doesn't really equal up. So when you are physically giving a physical example that you are literally, doing that great service as well, you're giving blood or you're helping someone physically, they see it. That is a great Tabligh. Believe me, that is like, from my opinion, I really like that kind of Tabligh, because that Tabligh, someone can really see you and they can see, what, this person is really doing it from his heart and he means it. He's not just saying the words, he's actually at the front, he's physically there as well. I just wanted to kind of also share this picture here as well. This was just, I don't know, 12 years ago. This was me, my dad, and my brothers. This was at a station in London when we were doing Tabligh. My brother shared it to me a few days ago. So I just thought I'd just share that with you guys as well. This is just one way how you can do leaflet distribution as well. And alhamdulillah, I was involved in Tabligh then as well. And it's great looking back that, still I am. So yeah, that's just a little sneaky one there. Jazakallah for listening out, guys.
Jazakallah, that was wicked, man. Hopefully that we can all organize something and go do blood drives together. I think that'd be fun. If we can all organize one day maybe, where we can all go. I think it might make it fun as well, and then we can all continue like Dom night in a different kind of way in the hospital or something. So Jazakallah, man.